This is the new 2013 Mazda CX-9, their flagship model. What's new for 2013? The front and the back. They've grafted the design that comes on the CX-5 onto this bigger vehicle. The design language is called Kudo, or soul in motion, meant to look like an animal leaping forward. Sounds a bit like marketing mumbo jumbo. What it really means is they've gone with a new look for their vehicles, and this is it going forward. The one thing I can say looks a little bit like an animal moving are the headlights. When you look at them closely, they do look like eagle eyes, and that's not a bad touch. Around the back, they've updated the tail lights. They look more interesting. Also dual exhaust and a bigger bumper that makes it a larger shelf for loading things in and out. What you can't see underneath this vehicle is this vehicle was built when Ford and Mazda were integrated. Ford used to have an ownership position in Mazda. They've since divested themselves from that, but a lot of components went into both companies' vehicles. Underneath here, the same platform they use in the Ford Edge, which is made in Ontario, also the Ford Flex and the Ford Explorer. Now Mazda runs away and turns it into a Mazda. Ford turns their platform into Ford vehicles. What I can tell you is, yes, they're built off similar platforms, but the suspension, the tuning, and how it all works is very unique to each company. Now, before we go any further, I forgot to mention it off the top. This is a review for Motormouth Canada and my website, motormouth.ca. In Canada, we call this company Mazda. All right, before you start listing all of those opinions on the page here, just let you know that it's Mazda in Canada. It's not Mazda, as you say in the United States, so get over it. Now, inside this Mazda, it's a nice approach. They haven't gone with the overly complex My Ford Touch system that they have in their vehicles. You've got simple controls here for the heat and ventilation. You've got a 5.8-inch screen that is now standard. That's the big update for the interior of this vehicle for 2013. It has the backup camera integrated into this model. It has a great Bluetooth system. I was able to easily pair my phone and stream music to the head unit. And even when I left the vehicle and came back, it picked up my music where it was last played and remembered my phone every time. So I'm impressed with that, because I got to tell you, driving all different kinds of vehicles, not all of them work that seamlessly. Just like the Flex and the Edge, it's nice in here. It's big, comfortable seats, commanding view. It's got a similar layout to vehicles like the CX-7. The dash is very similar to the CX-7 and different from the CX-5. The back seats are big, plenty of leg room for kids, and the third row of seats is easily accessible with one hand. You can grab a handle, slide the second row forward, and gain access to the third row quite easily. This is similar to what Nissan is doing with their Easy Flex system. Mazda's had this for a couple of years now, and you can access the back quite easily. In the third row of seats, it is roomy enough for adults, but it's really best for children. So overall, it's an uncluttered, simple approach in the inside of this vehicle. Seats are comfortable. That's something you want. The head unit and the radio works well. It's got a great outward visibility. There's really not much to dislike, and that's the same with the Ford products this is based on. Now, this Mazda sold as two trim levels in Canada, the GS, the base model, and the GT, the one we have here. The GS comes front-wheel drive, the GT all-wheel drive. The GS starts at around $34,000, and the GT we have here around $45,000, so it's not the cheapest 7-passenger crossover in the market at all. The price leaders really are the Ford Explorer, just around $30,000. Same with the new Pathfinder, $30,000. Now, the GS does come with 18-inch alloy wheels, which is nice. These 20s you get here on the GT trim. So this vehicle isn't the value leader. What it does have is that Ford componentry wrapped in a Japanese package. One thing that drives me crazy, okay, I'll back up here for a second. You can lock and unlock with the key on this higher end model by pushing a little black button here. So now it's unlocked. Okay, I'll lock it again. Now when you come around the back and you want to use the rear lift gate, if you just put your hand in here and pull it up, it doesn't unlock automatically. It doesn't have that proximity feature. So you have to first unlock it once, unlock it again, and then have the ability to have the button here to remotely unlock it or lift the handle one more time. Not the best situation. So yes, you do have remote locks and you do have the ability to get the power lift gate, but it's not the most integrated system in the market. This CX-9 is equipped with a 3.7-liter V6 engine with 273 horsepower standard equipment. For example, with the Ford products, like the Edge comes with a 3.5 liter. If you want to get their 3.7 liter engine, you need to spend more to get the top sport model. So this has quite a bit of power. It's nicely in keeping with the competition. The Pathfinder, for example, also comes with a 3.5 liter V6 as standard equipment. Now, Mazda's marketing in Canada anyway is zoom zoom, and they do basically put some performance and handling into their vehicles. All the vehicles they make, they put more emphasis on driving dynamics than most other companies, and you can feel that. And that's one of the differences when they get the platform and they make it into a Mazda. They put the springs and the shocks at the settings that work for their products. And this definitely corners well, it handles well. My biggest complaint is the on-center feel. So driving down the roads, just trying to keep the car tracking down the road, it's kind of vague and has what we call, when we review cars, a dead on-center feel. So on-center, when you're driving down, it doesn't give a lot of feedback to the driver. It actually feels like you're correcting the car a lot, even though the vehicle's not moving that much. Throw the CX-90 into a corner, and it has some body roll initially, but then really rewards in the handling department. For such a big vehicle, it's surprising how well it drives. Now, this CX-9's biggest problem is price, starting at around $34,000 and going up to about $45,000 for the one we have here. This isn't the cheapest crossover in the market. You can get a Pathfinder, you can get an Explorer for around $30,000 to start with. So this vehicle has a lot of the same things going as the Ford products, except it's more expensive. But the way it feels and the way it drives and the way it's put together is, it feels like it's a quality machine, and the interior is actually more premium than I would have expected.